Hi, here are some exercises to help to open up and connect to your shoulders. So we just start with some really simple shoulder rolls, breaking them down, lift, squeeze back, squeeze the tips of your shoulder blades, and then reach the fingertips down towards the floor. And as you do this, feel as if the crown of the head's lifting to the ceiling. Feel a little stretch, you can have a little waggle, and then relax. So we do that again. Up, back, squeeze down, push the hands down, and then relax. And again, up, back, squeeze, and press down. And you can do up to 10 of these. Really good exercise. And you can take a few breaths here in this pushing down of the fingertips towards the floor as the crown lifts towards the ceiling. And then relax. And then we take the arms out in front, just allow the shoulder blades to settle onto the back. And what we're doing, if I show you from the back, is you're squeezing the elbows back as you draw the shoulder blades in, and then reaching back and the shoulder blades slide off the center of your rib cage. So squeezing back, just make sure that you're not allowing the shoulders to lift up to the ears, you're still drawing them back and down, and then push forwards. And a few more of those. And again, you can do 10, 12, 15 of these, whatever feels good. And then we transition into a bit of a twist. So arms out here. The right thumb is coming into the sternum as the body opens into a twist. Left finger still reaching forwards. If it feels good, you can take the gaze back and open up, but you can stay in this position. And then take it back to the front, other side. Thumb to the sternum, elbow squeezing back. Reach out, sweep forwards. There we go. We can do a few on each side. Really feeling the muscles in the inner edge of your shoulder blades, working to draw the shoulder blade here back, then squeeze, then open. And you can stop with the squeeze if that feels good. So you can again do 10 on each side if that feels good. Just work with what your body feels it wants to do. And after each exercise, just have a little loosen up, a bit of backstroke in the shoulders, loosen up any tension in the arms. And then we've got strengthening exercise for the trapezius. We tend to think that we need to stretch it, but actually strengthening it is a good idea. So we've got a TheraBand here. This is just a medium strength or a light strength. Use what you've got around and walk your hands down so that when you stand straight and your arms are straight, there's resistance. You can feel that the bands are pulling your arms long, and you might find a nice stretch in the sides of the neck and the top of the shoulder blades here. We want to just tone the belly, lengthen the tailbone, and the feet are hip width apart here. And you're keeping your elbows bent. You're going to lift the shoulders up to your ears, and then really slowly lengthen them back down and let the band do the last bit of pulling your arms down. If it feels a little bit too easy, there's not enough of a pull down, then just take a little bit more band into your hands. So lifting, squeezing, and then slow as you can back down. Again, 10, 12, 15 of these, whatever feels good. Lengthening out. So if you had a crick in your neck, or you know that you hold lots of tension in the top of your shoulders, this is a really great one to do. Slowly down into a stretch, and as the hands come down, the crown of the head lifts, so you get a nice stretchy feeling. So that's a lovely one to do. Drop the band, and then we can use a chair. You can have your hands on the wall as well. So if you've got broad shoulders and the chair's a bit narrow, then you can have your hands on the wall in the same sort of way here. Hands pressing down as if you were pushing the chair into the wall. You walk your feet back as far as you need to so that you can be in an L shape, so that the ears start to come down between the hands. The hands are and arms are strong, so you're not just kind of collapsed here. Your arms are straight, you're pushing the chair down, neck is relaxed. You can bend your knees as much as you need to take pressure out of the back here. So it's not about, we shouldn't be feeling this pulling in the back at all, or in the hamstrings particularly, so soften the knees. And all you're going to do is you're going to push the chair down, feel the shoulder blades broaden, lift the back of the skull up a little bit, And then begin to release the chest through the arms. So it's a tiny movement. The shoulder blades are toning and drawing apart, and then releasing. And you feel a stretch, maybe down the arm into the front of the shoulder, maybe even the chest, and you feel a little bit of work happening in the upper back. So feel the thoracic spine, that area in your upper back, just release, and then come back a little bit and release, just moving with your breath. It shouldn't feel pinchy or unpleasant in the shoulder joints. So this is where you might want to take it to the wall and have your arms wider, your hands further apart. Great. And then just come up nice and gently, walking towards the chair. And again, release any tension, shake out the arms and the shoulders. And here we're going to bring the fingertips across the chest, to the tops of the shoulders, lift the elbows in line with the chest. So not too high, shoulder blades are still relaxing away from the ears. You're going to try and keep the lower body stable, again, toning the belly just to support the spine, and start to turn like a little bit of a corkscrew. So this is WD-40ing your upper spine, if you can keep the pelvis pretty steady. So we're not doing too much twist. The knees are staying still and pointing forwards, the front of the pelvis pointing forwards. And if you can, keep your gaze forwards as well. Yeah. And you can make it a little bit quicker. Keep breathing. Nice. So that you're really feeling that you're loosening up. Good. And then start to slow it down. And then release. And again, just loosen up. We're going to come into another shoulder stretch. This time, instead of the hands on the chair, we're going to have the elbows on the chest. So again, you might want to use the arm of the sofa or something a little bit wider if it doesn't feel right. Elbows are going to come onto the edges of the chair. And here, you walk back as far or not as you need to keep your back comfortable. So here, I'm not that far away. I'm sticking my bottom out, got my knees bent, and I'm just taking the top of my head or the top of my forehead to the chair, and I'm letting my chest sink. So I'm extending in the upper back into a stretch and really feeling into the upper back. The palms of the hands can be pressing together gently. And you're just going to take a few breaths, 10 breaths here, 5 breaths here, whatever feels good. And feel a real connection of your breath to the upper back. And again, you've got a sense of pressing the elbows down to the floor. So there's muscular engagement. We're not just kind of collapsed here. And you can stay there a bit longer if it feels good. Slowly bring yourself out. And have another little loosen up. And then lastly, you can just do a chest stretch. You can use the wall. And probably the easiest thing to do is to stand in front of a wall with your hand out to the side of you. Arm is going to be straight, and then turn away. You turn away from that hand and you feel a stretch in the front of the pec, maybe even all the way to the sternum. Again, we want to make sure that there's not tension here. You're not holding tension in the shoulders. They're just sliding away from your ears. And you're just turning away from it to your own degree. So if you're super tight, it's not going to be as far. And again, breathe into it. And same on the other side. If I show you this way using the wall, so I'm going to stand in front of the wall, take my arm out to the side, the elbow straight, and I'm just going to start to turn away. And I have quite open shoulders, so I can turn even away from the wall. That might not be right for you. And breathe into it. And again, hold your stretches for 5 to 10 breaths. It's just a little alternative that you can do seated. The palm is out, the thumb is up. You can slide the hand into chair position here. Roll the shoulder blade into the back of the heart, and then you're going to draw the chest forwards. Squeezing the shoulder blade in. You're supporting the spine a little bit with a bit of tone here, but you can have a lift in the chest and a slight arch in the back. So you're getting a bit more extension through the spine. And again, breathe into it. There should be no pain. It should just feel quite nice. To release it, come out of it slowly. And again, finish with an arm shake and a shoulder roll. Do those every day and you'll be sorted.